Fruit-based barbecue sauces are absolutely delicious, and this peach barbecue sauce is no exception. Welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. Today's recipe is so easy to make and it is unbelievably delicious. Let me tell you, it's peach barbecue sauce and you just need a couple of cans of peaches, or you could use fresh if you wanted, a few seasonings and a few other ingredients, and just boil it on the stove. So let me get into exactly what I'm using here. I have 1 can of, this is the 15-ounce can of drained peaches. Now I get the peaches that are in juice, not in syrup, okay? And that is up to you. If you want a sweeter barbecue sauce, you certainly can get the kind that's in syrup. That's perfectly fine. And then you want another can that's undrained. So we have the juice. So it's a total of 30 ounces of peaches, give or take, because I'm sure that they count the juice in the weight of the can, right? So probably a little less than that. All right, to this, we're gonna add a seasoning blend. This is 1 teaspoon of fine grind sea salt, or you could use kosher salt, a half of a teaspoon of black pepper, half of a teaspoon of onion powder, half of a teaspoon of garlic powder, half of a teaspoon of cinnamon, about 1/8 of a teaspoon or a couple of pinches of nutmeg, and then some chipotle pepper. I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon. You can adjust that to however spicy or mild you want your barbecue sauce, okay? So we're gonna sprinkle that in. Then you wanna put in 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I'm using apple cider vinegar, but you could use white vinegar or white wine vinegar, that would be fine. I would not use balsamic and I would not use red wine. You could probably even use rice vinegar if that's all you had. All right, now for an optional ingredient, okay, because you don't have to use this. This is a half of a cup of bourbon. And I like the flavor that it gives to the barbecue sauce, so I usually use it. But if you don't want to use any alcohol, just put in a half of a cup of water, okay? Put your pot on the stove over medium-high heat. Bring it to a boil. Then reduce the heat so that the sauce is simmering and let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once your sauce has simmered for about 10 to 15 minutes, you'll see it start to reduce and become a little bit more syrupy-like. And that also helps to burn off some of the alcohol fumes so you don't get that real strong alcohol taste in your barbecue sauce if you chose to use bourbon. Now let it sit here and cool, because you don't want to pulse blend it while it's hot. If you have an immersion blender and you have a pot that is safe to use the immersion blender in, you can go in and do some pulse immersion blends in the pot right now and it'll be fine. But I like to let it cool, then I'll put it into the blender and I'll pulse blend it. However many times you pulse blend it will determine the chunkiness of it, okay? So if you wanted a real chunky peach barbecue sauce, you could even really just go in here now and sort of mash them up, or use a potato masher or something like that. But I like it a little smoother, so I put it in the blender and I do like maybe 3 or 4 pulse blends on it. All right, so once your barbecue sauce has cooled down a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the blender on and just pulse it a few times. That looks perfect. Okay, now the next thing is you might be a little surprised that I didn't add in any brown sugar. And the reason being is I think the peaches are sweet enough in the juice that they come in. But you can give it a little taste right now and then decide whether you want to add a little brown sugar. That is perfect for me. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this into some jars and then I will serve it on some grilled chicken. So it makes about 3 cups of barbecue sauce. All right, I'm gonna let this sit here and then I'll go grab the grilled chicken and I'll give it a taste. This peach barbecue sauce is so delicious on pulled ham. That is my favorite way to serve it, but it's also really good on a grilled chicken breast. So what I did was I grilled the chicken breast on the outdoor wood fire grill, and then the last few minutes of the cooking process, I put a little bit of the barbecue sauce on and let that sort of set up. But I like it saucy, so I'm gonna add a little bit more here to the plate. You can see the texture of it. Again, blend it more if you want it thinner. Then let's go ahead and just cut into the chicken. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. This chicken was only seasoned with salt and pepper. All right, here it goes. Wow. Unbelievably delicious. It is not sweet. If you like it sweeter, put more brown sugar or put some brown sugar in there. It has a kick though. So watch that chipotle, okay? I might have gone a little bit overboard. I put about a quarter teaspoon in, and it is a little spicy. So watch that. But make this peach barbecue sauce, serve it on some grilled chicken, on grilled fish. You could, of course, use it with pulled ham. It's delicious that way. And get creative and enjoy your barbecue sauce.